whistleblowers in South Africa end up on the run. Some even end up dead. Others have to live in hiding, in fear of their lives. One of those is South African police whistleblower, Patricia Morgan-Mashale. She's speaking to us from hiding. Welcome, Patricia. How long have you been in hiding, Patricia?
I've been in hiding for 16 months.
What forced you to go into hiding?
The person who did a threat assessment on me detected a threat that one of the senior management whom I implicated in my protected disclosure that I made to the former National Commissioner General Cyril was going to open a case against me. And then the plan was that I should be admitted in a correctional facility, and then I should not be registered on the system and just vanish into the system. So the person working at correctional services is the one who gave this person the information and told him to tell me that my life is in danger. I must make sure that I don't get arrested because surely I will not get out of prison. I will disappear into the system, and that's why I went into hiding.
What caused you to become a whistleblower in the first place, Patricia?
Just being ethical and wanting to do the right thing. There was so much corruption committed in the SAPS. Actually, it started way back in 2008 when I first started to blow the whistle on corruption. And after that, it was found that all my allegation into the SAPS management, the former SAPS management at the time was true, because IPID investigated and there was a report that was given to Bheki Cele, who was the former National Commissioner at the time. So Natim Teta was the minister and also received a copy of the report. I also received a copy of the report, which is still in my possession. And the recommendations of IPID was that it was serious criminal activities that were committed, and that action should be taken against all those implicated. Criminal action, departmental and criminal charges. And instead of that, I was the one charged departmentally at the time. I won the case. And the only thing Bheki Cele did was to remove and dissolve the provincial management and transfer them to other provinces. And nothing happened to them. And in fact, most of them got promoted throughout the years. And then the corruption just proceeded, and no matter how much you talk out about it, it became normalized in the South African police services. It was people, police officers. I'm not talking about just people. I'm talking about senior police officers that saw what was happening and no one said anything. Everyone just turned a blind eye. Unlawful instructions were issued and they were complied with. And I blew the whistle again in 2021 with a protected disclosure that I made to the former National Commissioner General Cyril. It was on 6 January 2021, after I had a telephonic conversation with him on the 4th of January. He was the one who advised me to make the protected disclosure and emailed the report to him. I did so on the 6th of January 2021.
So on the 13th, it was 12th of January, I was contacted by one of my colleagues to tell me that the provincial management knows about the protected disclosures that I made to the National Commissioner because he informed them.
Then what happened?
What happened then, I was then charged departmentally again for misconduct. And the charges was I brought the organization built by spreading false allegations about the management. I was charged departmentally. I was charged criminally. Protection order was obtained against me. And yes, I just suffered a severe retaliation from the management. It's such a point that I also decided to go to the police station to open a case against them, because in October 2021, Colonial with 2 armed officers came to my office, and they took my phone forcefully with a fraudulent search and seizure warrant to seize my phone. And then I went to the police station on the 15th of October to open a case, because I actually went to court to go and find out whether the seizure order was actually in fact legit. And then I got confirmation from a magistrate court to say no, it was fraudulent. That's when I went to the police station to open a case, and then instructions was issued to all police stations that whenever I go to a police station, no cases must be registered on the system. So I was not assisted on that day. The case was not registered, and then I felt so helpless, because it was like I was alone in this thing, and the entire SAPS against me. I was not allowed to report criminality and corruption to the police stations. So it came to a point where I decided to contact IPID. I went to the provincial office of IPID, and I spoke to the provincial head of IPID, and I told him that I would prefer my complaint to be handled by the national office of IPID. And I also called the national head of IPID, Mrs. Jennifer Tatsing, and I informed her of my request. And that is then when she said she will send a team to Free State to assist me with my complaints. But needless to say, all the cases that I opened against the police management, with all the evidence that I submitted, the DPP declined to prosecute. IPID gave them the reports, their investigation reports, and they simply declined to prosecute. But they prosecute the case of harassment that this general that I also implicated in the corruption. I had evidence of all the corruption that he committed. Despite that, I was prosecuted for breach of a protection order, and that is why there is currently now a warrant of arrest issued for me, because I could not attend court personally because of the threats of my life, and there was an arrangement, a prior arrangement with a magistrate when I first appeared court, that I feel that my safety, there's a threat against my safety, I don't have to attend court as long as my legal representative is there to represent me. And with a second appearance, I was not there. The magistrate who presided over the case that they didn't have a problem. With a third appearance, that magistrate wanted me in court regardless of all the submissions that were made to her, regardless of the threat assessment that was submitted to her, regardless of the letter of the Human Rights Commission. It was submitted to her that I'm actually a whistleblower, and all forms of retaliation against me was a criminal offense. I even requested through my lawyer, because he called me on that day, to do a virtual appearance which she also declined, and she issued the warrant.
On what basis was a criminal charge laid against you?
The criminal charge was based, remember, the general obtained a protection order against me, citing that I'm spreading false allegations. I already submitted my evidence. So really, there was a TV program which I featured in, and the program was already recorded by, and it was to air in September. On the same day, the judgment on my rescission application, because I submitted this rescission application. On the same day that the judgment of the rescission application was issued, the program was aired. And remember, on that day, the rescission application, the judgment was emailed to my lawyer. So I didn't know about the rescission application. The judgment was against me, that I should stop spreading. And I put the emphasis on false allegations. So, SAPS, I remember this is a private matter now, because it's now in the family court protection order. It has nothing to do with the SAPS. He took out the protection order in his personal capacity. Then SAPS sent a letter of demand to SABC to stop the program. And SABC informed them that it was too late to stop the program. And they have also got advice from their legal representatives that there is no false allegations, no false evidence that I gave to them. They gave him an opportunity to respond to the allegations, and he did not. He refused to respond to the allegations. All he did was send an email to them to say that I was a liar and I spread false allegations. It should there be any legal repercussions, then he should take it up with them, should sue them. So what happened then, the show ad, they proceeded with the show, it aired. I told that my whole entire story was told on the Cutting Edge program. The evidence was presented on the program, so there was no false allegations. And then warrant of arrest it went to the police station to obtain a warrant of arrest. Police officers were sent to my house. There was a lot of police officers who were sent to my house. My 11-year-old boy was alone at home with my brother. And I have a video that I can send to you of the huge presence. Even TRT, the tactical response team, was there. And my son was so scared, terrified. They locked the gate, they locked the door, and my son took a video from inside the house to show this big, huge presence of police officers who went back to my house to arrest me for this breach of protection orders. I managed to call my daughters who were at work, because at the time they worked together. And I asked them to rush home to go see what is happening and to find out. And they arrived home. And you can also see in the video where they confronted I don't know whether it was the investigation officer or the person in charge, and they asked to see the warrant of arrest, and they didn't even have a warrant of arrest at the time. They couldn't show them a warrant of arrest, and at the end of the day, they left. And I was advised by my lawyer to go with him to the investigation officer's office so that we can hear what is this all about. So when I arrived there, I was charged criminally for breach of a protection order, and I was to appear in court the next day. The next day, which was in August of 2024, yes, I went to court, whereby the magistrate now was standing. I remember the previous day I was released by the investigation officer on a warning to appear in court the next day. So now I stand in the box there for a breach of a protection order. Now, then something very, very strange happened. The magistrate now informed me that this is no more a case of harassment. She is now charging me under the amendment section 8 of the Domestic Violence Act, which now turns into a section 5 offense.
I'm sorry, but what has domestic violence got to do with you blowing your whistle on corruption?
What everyone asks themselves is, how does domestic violence now feature into a breach of a protection order of spreading false allegations? How does it now turn into domestic violence, and how does the magistrate now become a peace officer, a police officer? And she was like, I'm arresting you now, placing you under arrest for under section, amended section 8. The section, she even told us when was the section amended. It was amended in January 2022. And now I'm standing trial for domestic violence. So now I must apply for bail. And you know what? I'm studying law, and I know somehow a thing or two about the Criminal Procedure Act. You know what? I was so shocked. I laughed. I burst out in laughter. And now I'm looking at the investigation officer was sitting in court, was there for a breach of a protection order, and now she dissolved with her actions. She dissolved the original charge for which I was there, and there is now a new charge without the case number. She charged me without the case number. And I applied for bail, and I was released on free bail. And the case was then transferred by the same magistrate to the regional court, because now it's now the serious criminal.
May I ask you whether you have had any contact with the Minister of Police, our current Minister of Police?
You know, in 2018, I realized that firearms in the police storage facilities are being removed from the facilities and by police officers, and then sold back to the black market by the police officers. I informed the General Cyril of what was happening. General Cyril, I called him, and he told me that I must send him a SMS because he didn't have WhatsApp at the time. I sent him the SMS, and General Cyril never responded. I decided, okay, fine, since General Cyril don't respond because this is a serious issue. I remember I also wrote a letter to Parliament informing them of what was happening with the firearms, because around that time it was the serious issue regarding the situation that the firearms environment was in. I also called the minister and informed him that I did inform the National Commissioner. And I sent what I usually do when I report something. To cover myself, I leave a paper trail. So I also sent, because the minister also doesn't have WhatsApp, I also sent him a SMS informing him. And then the National Commissioner came back to me and say I must contact Lieutenant General Bia, who is the head of DPCI. So I contacted him also. So yes, that was the time, the first time when I contacted the minister since he was back in the South African Police again, since he was the minister. The previous times was when he was a National Commissioner, when I reported the first incidents of corruption in the SAPS. And then I was early in 2022, say around about, I think it was April, May, when I was contacted by Radio 702. They interviewed me, and I exposed. I told them what was happening in the SAPS, especially in crime intelligence, where funds of crime intelligence were channeled to political parties, and friends and families were appointed. And then it was after that interview that the minister called me. Yeah, it was early in the morning.
Which minister?
Minister Bheki Cele. He called me, and he told me that he was not aware of everything that was happening in SAPS. And I told him, I said, Minister, you are aware, because I did inform you already back in 2018. I sent the SMS to you. I made you aware what is happening. And he was like, okay, fine, let's do this. I'm on my way to Parliament. When I come back, let us meet. I will take care of all the logistics, and then we can meet in Gauteng. But I want to meet with you alone first. And I told him, I say, you know what? As you know, I'm in hiding, and I'm also representing a few hundreds of police officers who were dismissed like me because they opened up, they spoke out about corruption. So I would not be able to meet with you alone, because I don't trust you as much as to say I'm going to put my life in jeopardy. If you want to meet, then you meet with all of us at a place where I feel that I am going to be comfortable. I say, okay, I will get back to you. And since this day, he never got back to me. And that's when he was interviewed by one of the TV presenters, whereby he said he never called. And I released the screenshot of his call to me.
Have you had any contact with the office of President Cyril Ramaphosa, or have they contacted you?
I have had several letters over, I think it's since 2021, after I was charged by the SAPS management. I wrote several letters to the office of the president, implicating even the minister. Because of that, I put a report that the minister never implemented. Because of the fact that I already reported to the minister, and the minister never reported. So I didn't trust the minister, because the minister was actually part of this. Some of my, let me not say some, all of my emails was referred back to the minister, to such a point where I responded to Mr. Robert Rungwane, who is working as, I think he's the PA or the office manager in the office of the president, to tell him that I feel that I don't know whether the buck ends with you. Are you actually referring my emails to the president, or does it end here with you? Because I believe that if the president should the president get one of my emails, at least he would respond with a signature to tell me whatever he was going to tell me. But till today, I believe that the emails were never forwarded to the office of the president. I believe that Mr. Robert Rungwane kept the emails for himself, and he just referred me back to the office of the president. And the only response he could get to me is that only the minister could deal with the issue. And by the way, the spelling of his surname are wrong. I spelled his surname wrong. That's what I got from. What I did after that, I then went, because then there was attempt on my life. That was a direct attempt on my life in November, whereby the car that I was traveling in, we were chased late at night. It was in the early morning hours, because I took the chance to go and see my children, because I haven't seen them in months since I went in hiding in February. So I took the chance that day and I went to visit them. And I left late, as then when my son-in-law took me home. And he realized that we have been having followed, but he didn't inform me at the time. It was only when he saw that this car, at every turn we made, this car made a turn. And it was only two cars, because it was around 12 o'clock at night. And then it informed me that there's a black Ford Ranger without number plates, black windows that are following us. And that is where I started panicking, because I know that if they can get close to us, they are going to shoot us. And when my son pretended to go straight to my place, and when we arrived at a circle, he suddenly made a U-turn, and that's what threw them off, because that gave us an opportunity to speed away from them. But we were in an Opel Corsa and they were in a Ford Ranger. They managed to almost get hold of us. And my son-in-law kept such a cool head. He managed to drive back to where we come from. We came from the township, and luckily we came to a place where there's like I think it's a club or something, a tavern, and there was a lot of cars, and he managed to slip through in front of one of the cars, and that is when that car blocked the Ford Ranger, and we managed to speed away, and we managed to close them. But then we sat with the situation. We didn't know what to do. I knew that police officers were also involved. Should we go to a police station, that they were going to broadcast it on air, and those people will know exactly where we were. So I called Mary the Haas. It was around 1 o'clock in the morning. I called Mary Rahas. I said, this is the situation that I'm currently in. We were afraid to go back to my daughter's place because we suspect that they followed us from there, and there might be others waiting for us there. And we couldn't go to my place because there might be others who was waiting for me there. And you know what? Merida has asked me to check if we can get a B&B so that I can sleep over at a B&B that night. Unfortunately, most of the B&Bs were closed. And what we did that night, we slept at a garage. We slept in the car at the garage until the next morning. Early the next morning, when I eventually managed to get a B&B that was open, where I booked myself. And that's when I decided that I'm not going to die silent. Because what I saw now is I'm going to be a whistleblower who was going to be killed, and no one was going to know why I was killed, what I blew the whistle about. And that's when I decided that I'm going to write an open letter on social media to the president, tell him about my situation, and to tell him that he is responsible for the lives, for the safety of whistleblowers, and should anything happen with me, that he should be held responsible. And still, after my open letter, I never received any response from the president.
Where has this left you now? I believe there's a red notice.
There's a red notice. I've been informed there's a red notice internationally. I'm red flagged as a wanted person. So it left me destitute. I can't go anywhere. I cannot book a flight ticket. I cannot book a bus ticket. I cannot travel. Should I coincidentally be caught somewhere, I can say that I'm currently regarded as a terrorist, because red flagging someone, for breach of a protection order. I don't know. I really don't know what is the story behind the story. But this is definitely not because of a breach of a protection order. These people are looking for me for other reasons that they know about. They want me dead. It can't be that a person can be red flagged as a wanted person for a breach of a protection.
Who is supporting you now, Patricia?
Currently, I'm being supported by Merida Haas, who have been supported me from the beginning. I'm on whistleblower support group, where Cynthia Stumple is also on. I think she was the one who created a group. And now I'm being supported by Whistleblower House. They supported me with legal services. They have supported me financially, and I'm also being supported by the Faculty of Law of the University of the Free State. So yes, currently I do have the support of the Whistleblower House. And anytime when I need something, I will call Cynthia or Ben, and yes, they are there for me.
Patricia, I have to ask you, if you had known what was going to happen to you before you blew the whistle, would you have done it?
Yes, I would have done it, because, sometimes we let our fears, we become prisoners of our fears of speaking out. I cannot be a parent who tell my children to do the right thing and speak out whenever something is wrong. My children well, if I do something wrong, the way I brought him up, if I, as a parent, do something wrong, they will tell me, you have taught us to do this, but now you are doing that. So the way I was brought up, my mother always told me that wrong is wrong and right is right. And if you have to stand with the truth, you stand with your truth, even if you stand alone. And yes, I will do it over and over and over again, because corruption is killing us. Corruption is killing our children's future. Not only the people who are suffering, but it is killing the entire country. The very people who are committing this corruption, they forget that it doesn't end with them. They forget they also have generations who are going to come after them. They are not going to be in power forever. They forget that their children are also going to suffer because of the crimes that they committed. So yes, I will do it over and over and over again. And my children have told me they rather have a mother who died because of the truth than a mother who's still alive because she was afraid to speak out and tell the truth.
Thank you very much. That was South African police whistleblower Patricia Morgan-Mashale talking to BizNews from hiding. Thank you, Patricia.